The only reason I was so much of a Springsteen fan was I was force fed it a lot at home.
Oh yeah,
My,
who was
my,
your mom was the big
my
Springsteen?
mom was way into Bruce, like all the way back to the Greetings from Asbury Park album. And I mean, probably heard Springsteen as a kid from the time I was 10 years old every week. She played it in the car, she played it at the house, you know, and Springsteen was one my dad could tolerate. So it wasn't like we had to, like, my mom had a lot of rock taste. Like she'd be playing like the Stones and shit in the house.
You told me she Zeppelin and all that stuff.
Yeah, sure. So she was into that. But when my dad got home, a lot of that stuff would get put back away. You know, we would swap out Led Zeppelin for Can't Slow Down by Lionel Richie. You know, I mean, that's how it went. My dad would get home, and the last thing he wanted was fucking Communication Breakdown or something from Zeppelin.
Sure.
So it would be Roger Whittaker or Dave Loggins or, you know, my dad's shit. But my dad was okay with Springsteen because Springsteen had enough of those songs like, you know, Jungle Land and stuff that are kind of slow, you know, Point Blank. You know, Springsteen had a lot of those slow moving, The River, you know, slow plotting stuff that my dad would talk. My dad even went and saw Springsteen a couple of times.
Really?
Yeah.
How about that?
But then once I aged in, my dad immediately checked out. He tapped out of that. The minute my mom was like, I can still remember it. It was on Born in USA tour. She bought tickets and my dad was like, why don't you take Chris? I think he'd really enjoy that. He loves that MTV show. I remember him saying he loves that MTV show.
It's a show.
Yeah, the MTV show.
Not the channel, it's a show.
Yeah. And my mom was like, okay. So she took me to see Springsteen. And then we became Springsteen buddies for the rest of my high school.